Hello, LinkedIn, Facebook, Periscope, YouTube, and Twitch. I always forget one. My name is Frank Lavinia, and you can catch me on these following sites. Just wanted to wish everyone a great Friday, great weekend. Although, let's be real, I'll probably stream at least once this weekend. But I want to see how you're doing. How's things out on the internet land? This has been a big week. This has been a great week for those in the quantum computing space. And it's been with the release of Azure Quantum to public preview, I think is a game changer. Now, obviously, you're saying to yourself, Frank, you work for Microsoft. Of course, you're going to say it's a game changer, and maybe you're right. But let me tell you, enterprises listen to Microsoft the way enterprises looked at IBM in the day. And I know that's a terrible analogy. But the point is that Microsoft, no one else has the enterprise experience Microsoft has. No one else even comes close when it comes to enterprise experience. And I have a special surprise because it's Friday. My partner in crime, my brother from another mother. How's it going, Andy?
Hey, Frank, it's going well. How you doing?
I'm doing fantastic. Let me see if I get a little bit of branding in.
Yeah, it's good.
I have the Night King. Quantum is coming. I need to update that graphic because Quantum is here.
Quantum is here. I actually did a data minute this morning about that, and posted the video out at andyleonard.blog. And I know you've been promoting that on franksworld.com. Thank you for that. I pulled off a week of data minutes. It was a learning experience, and you can tell that if you look at it. But today's episode was on quantum. And I featured an interview that, actually, I'm not sure if it was an interview you did or not. I haven't listened to it, Frank, but it was about Anastasia, I think.
How she got into it. I linked to her. She has a really good YouTube channel. She talks about math and physics and things like that. Nice. I'm actually not sharing my screen, so it would help if I shared my screen. There we go. And let me turn off the chat so we have a little more screen real estate. We're getting better at this.
We are. Yeah, it's cool, and but it's also a lot to learn. I am looking for the top to my water bottle here, but I will set it there. I was just getting it out of the background there, but yeah, it's neat what we can do with Restream. I experienced a couple of Restream issues this week. Got on with tech support, worked it out. That's her.
Yeah, so she has a bunch of her YouTube channel is pretty interesting, actually. Let me click on that here. So I don't know if the voice goes through, but she's got 4,000 subscribers, a lot of great content, actually. And if you paying attention to kind of franksworld.com lately, there's a lot more quantum computing resources out there, to be honest.
It's starting to explode. And I mean, this week we had Azure Quantum go live. I had a link that you actually sent me for me to read about IBM Quantum. And I included that link in the show notes today as well. I only get in about 3 links and a sponsor in a minute. Right.
Well, there's only so much you can do. So tell me more about, I'm going to put you on the spot here, because tell me more about kind of where you want to go with this, and tell the good folks who are watching kind of what the purpose of the show is. You and we generate a lot of content. There's also Project Ringgate, which we'll talk about a little bit later. But I mean, what's your mission here? What's your goal? Because I know you have one.
Well, so yes, I definitely wanted to generate daily content, and that's an internal goal. That's for me. I wanted to do that because it helps. It helps me with discipline. I can't tell you how much Again, another link you sent me. I'd already gotten it because I'm subscribed with notifications to Ed Milet's YouTube channel.
Yes.
But you sent me the link. I had not watched this interview with Ed from, gosh, I want to say it was back at the end of January, and it had been about 2 or 3 days. I just moved on and done something else. I watched this about 20 minutes, and he was talking about doing days and days of work per day.
Right.
He had 3 big points. That was, I think, the second one. It was incredible, Frank. I've been practicing it. It's really about, daily goal setting. You've seen stuff like this before. It's not that it's new. It was the way he presented it that just happened to resonate. And so I started doing that.
Yeah, that's the great thing about Ed Milet. His stuff resonates because he's very real. And that's what I think appeals to me. And he's an interesting character. Definitely recommend his podcast. Definitely recommend his stuff has changed my life. Like, no joke. Like, it's just like, think about this, Andy. This week, and let's toot our own horns for a second.
Sure.
This week, between the two of us, you got out 5 videos. I've done 4 live streams. Well, I did one on Sunday. So depending on how you want to start the week,
we'll call it 5. Yeah.
I did 5 live streams. You did 5 live streams. These data minutes. We pushed out 2 podcast episodes.
Yes.
And I've gotten 25, 26 blog posts out on franksworld.com.
Wow.
And it's funny because I will open the kimono a bit. There are some things that I haven't done in regard to that because there's a lot of emails coming in for requesting advertising on Frank's World, which is excellent timing. God, the universe, however you want to attribute it, because it's starting to get expensive. Frank's World had a record-breaking month last month, 360,000 page views.
Wow.
So it was, pretty soon I'm going to be getting the even better plan.
All right. I see John. Yeah. John just commented, making me want. Absolutely. John, you should dive into Water's Fine. What you'll note if you watched Frank's live streams and or data minutes, you'll see us both learning together and when we do streams separately, and the quality is coming up. One of the things that we've learned is that some content out there, and I'm totally ripping this off from Frank because he's been encouraging me, but having some content available is better than no content. Even if I had technical issues a couple of days this week where I was sharing a screen, but it wasn't coming through for whatever reason. Actually, I now know the reason, but I didn't at the time. And I've got a solution for that. But even that was content that was being sent out there. Frank, you can do a much better job stating that than I can because you've encouraged me with it.
So I got this from Dean Graziosi. So first off, I want to acknowledge John's comment. You know what, John, that warms my heart because one of the things that Andy and I really believe in, we believe in this notion of servant leadership, right? And this comes from, our backgrounds of wanting to help people, whether it was with the MVP program, running user groups, creating user groups in Richmond, getting the first code camp in Richmond. It's all about, we want to inspire and help people. So the fact you're saying you want to do this, dude, get to it, man.
Warms our heart.
And honestly, so one of the things that I heard was, it was a Dean Grazioso quote. I'm sure it comes from somewhere else, but ultimately the idea is that messy action beats imperfect inaction every day.
That's it.
And that's true. If you look back at some of my earliest live streams, or even my earliest YouTube videos, they all stink. And don't worry if you do something new, don't worry if it's going to stink. It is absolutely going to stink. And here's the thing. It's just like coding, right? If you look back at code you wrote 6 months ago and you don't say to yourself, what moron wrote this? You've not grown. Having that kind of perspective shift, that's huge. That's the whole point of growth. And it's still better to get your message out there. And John, if you don't have, I now have 5 Clubhouse invites.
Wow.
So one I've promised to you, Andy.
I got to figure out how to get on there. I think is there a way to join from web client or PC
No,
some
you
kind of
need to
way?
get onto an iOS device. I think it needs version 14. I know.
Okay.
And you have to you install the app and you say, this is what I'm requesting my username. And then they'll say, okay, we'll let you know. Then when I do the invite, I can just say, type in whatever you typed in and then boom.
I gotcha. Okay.
So yeah.
All right, it's got it. Someday they'll put it on Android, right? Right.
They're working on it, but I understand. As frustrating as it is, as someone who did develop mobile apps, I'm not going to say for what platform because it's a tad embarrassing. But there are. Oh, John's already on there. Awesome.
Nice. Okay.
I haven't looked at it in a couple of days because I have to. I have so my personal iPad is not. It's an iPad Mini 2. So it doesn't have the whatever OS minimum version. So that was annoying.
I got you.
So I have to borrow one of the kids' iOS devices. So, which means whenever I use it, I'm being the mean dad taking it away. But that is a story for another day. And I'm sure, as I like to say, my kids will file a report with child services from their iPad. But thanks for following me there, John. So if anyone's watching and you want a Clubhouse invite, hit me up. Speaking of Clubhouse, I want to give a big shout out to this guy who is the one who got me invited.
Right. Dan Burkall sent you an invitation.
Burkall sent me the invite. Excellent show. If you've not listened to it, really love the show notes.
After they finally got there.
Yeah, I submitted a ticket today. Podcast websites is normally just 120% awesome. But the last 72 hours, I think they've had some issues.
But we have a fantastic update about this, right, Frank?
We do.
We do. About
this guy.
We hit another milestone.
We did hit another milestone. We actually now are, as of today, actually, we uploaded a new show. We recorded this Monday, I believe.
Yeah.
So we're actually uploading on a weekly basis with guests like responsible adult podcasters, which who knew?
Whoa, wait. Maybe responsible.
Let's not go that far. Let's not go that far. But yeah, we crossed 170,000. Our traffic is accelerating, which is awesome. One of the things that happened last week was we had I guess Elon Musk was in the news earlier this week, and boom, he was the number one. We didn't do a show with Elon Musk, although Elon, if you're listening, I would be more than honored to have you on the show. But,
absolutely, that would be crazy good.
That would be crazy awesome. He's an interesting guy. Maybe we'll be neighbors on Mars one day. Who knows?
That would be awesome too.
But the long tail. We talk about this internally. I don't know if we talk about this much, kind of on the podcast. But we talk about the long tail of podcasting. So even my YouTube channel, which again, don't look to me for YouTube advice. Let's put it that way.
Same here. But we look to people like the guy in the cube.
They're doing a pretty good thing.
Yeah, they're doing YouTube well.
But if you look, kind of, most of these were one-offs I recorded. This one, my most popular video, was basically me recording the unboxing of a solar generator kit that I got, and it sat there for. I mean, it's 5 years old now. I mean, it sat there for 2 years, and then boom, all of a sudden, like that. So it's kind of a long tail. And my Alexa unboxing.
She didn't start talking, did she?
Didn't start. No.
Okay, good.
Maybe
she heard that as one word.
Yeah, they have gotten better with that. So let me go back. But yeah, so we crossed 170,000, which I'm super excited about. It was actually this show that put us over the edge. You know what number show this is, Andy?
No. How many?
270th upload.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Cool, right?
It seemed, that's like 260 more than I expected us to do.
Well, in terms of traffic, it's definitely, about 150,000 more than I expected. So
yeah, same here. I mean, it's just, this is really a labor of love. I mean, it's not nothing. Frank does most of the work. I'll confess. Frank's really good at doing graphics and stuff like that. You would not want to look at my graphics.
But you do the stuff I don't want to do, like the show notes.
Well, and I enjoy doing the show notes. So I think that's kind of why it works so well. Right. Is you're doing audio editing, which I did some audio editing, and both of us kind of learned through that experience that don't be heavy-handed. That's some advice for you, John. If you jump in there, just go be you.
Right.
Especially early on, because what Frank's advice early on was, what he just said about, especially when you're just starting, is you're going to look back on it and think it sucks, no matter what. Gary Vaynerchuk looks back at his stuff and says it sucks. He's like, I can't believe I got out of this. He's been saying that recently on some of his LinkedIn posts. It's going to happen. So look, don't think of it as, oh my gosh, I got to get out there and kind of, pay the piper and do the sucky shows. Absolutely not. Look at it as a free ticket.
Right.
You are free to just go out there and be you. It's going to evolve. It's going to change. So take advantage of that. Let that take the stress off of it. You know what I mean?
Embrace the suck.
Embrace the chaos.
It definitely works out a lot better that way if you kind of think of it that way.
Yeah.
I look back at my first video, that I did on Frank's World TV. It's just god awful. Like there's no I cringe when I see it, but you know what? I mean, I've gotten better at it now, and just a lot of it is just practice. Practice.
Yeah, it really is.
It doesn't make perfect. It makes better.
Absolutely. And there's even a bug on this screen Frank is showing us right now. Just stuff happens, right? You can't click and listen to the podcast from here. Not here yet, but they'll fix it. But you can go to franksworld.com and listen to it, because he posts the embedded audio version of it up there. I need to go. And
that's what I posted on LinkedIn as well.
Yeah, I need to do the same thing over at AndyLeonard.blog.
And you know about my super secret tool.
I do. So Frank built the coolest tools for this stuff. This is one reason why he's able to crank out the audio for shows like this. Even if you're listening to the audio to this show somewhere, this is why.
I mean, if you look, 144 posts last month, 14, and it's interesting because I committed to this month. I wanted to get 100, but that was the month I had the car accident and Christmas and the kids' birthdays. But then the following month, ever since January 2019, I've had over 100 posts per month, and I've committed to that. And knock on wood, so far I made it.
Yeah, and a lot. Go ahead, Frank.
A big part of that is relying on kind of the automated tools where I can really kind of streamline the process.
And Frank's been doing, averaging 5 posts per day on most months.
Yep.
So awesome.
But so it's funny. So I do get emails in, and like everyone just assumes there's a whole team working on Frank's World, which is funny. That warms my heart too, because it's like, nope, it's just me. It's just me and some of my automation tools. Some of which are, well, I don't really have any AI powered ones yet, but I should probably build something like that. But John, you should totally do live streaming. I mean, you do a great job with your YouTube channel. You'll get your message out, and it's a lot of fun. We're big fans of Restream. I think we can get you a coupon code. I will find out. But they have a pretty good free service that you can do. Mm-hmm. Some of the cooler features, like some of the fancier graphics, you can only do on the pay version, but it's pretty reasonable. Right.
Yeah.
I mean, the advantage of this is that, we can be on 5 or 6 different platforms at once.
Right.
And if you want to go crazy and use OBS, which is given all the problems you're having with kind of the browser-based interface and the bugs that are there, the reason why I use the web interface, honestly, is because the friction to do a live stream is so much lower.
Yeah, I can start in less than a minute. You just hit the site, push the button.
Exactly. And especially when you're starting, you're trying to build that discipline. Like yesterday I missed streaming, and I felt something was missing from my life. I know that sounds really corny, but it's like, no, I got to do it. And I I enjoy doing this. I enjoy interacting with the audience, and hopefully that shows. But, and I also, helps me be better at my job, because everything we do at the MTC is virtual. So,
right.
If I can project a presence and kind of practice that virtually, I'm going to be better at my job. So
absolutely,
it's one of those things where it's all about practice, and you miss every shot you don't take, or, whatever analogy you want to use.
I get that. I get it.
So how are you doing today?
Me, I'm well. I really am. I'm doing well. It's Friday, which means not quite nothing. It means there's one more day left in my work week.
Right.
Although I work probably like you. I work 4 to 6 hours on a Saturday usually, and I do that really early in the morning, so that about the time I have teenagers, right? 3 teenagers here. I actually have 2 daughters that have kids of their own from my first marriage. I'm a grandpa, but the kids living at home, they're all teenagers, so they don't get up till 10:30 or 11 anyway. Nice. On a Saturday. So yeah, I can get in, 4 to 6 hours. Doing well. Getting some stuff done. Frank, business is kind of slow, mostly I think because of the pandemic, right. But that's been a blessing, because I have this huge list of things that I want to do when I'm really busy consulting and training and stuff. And, now I'm able to actually put some time on. I've got some products. I've been working on those quite a bit. The one last thing is I'm doing training next week. So if you're out there and you want to learn more about SSIS, I'm doing my introductory to intermediate level SSIS course all next week.
And of course, there's Project Ringgate.
Project Ringgate. Yes, we are progressing on that. We've had some good milestones there as well. John says that's his strategy too. Get up early and get the YouTube stuff done. Totally agree.
Yeah, I think he has a little one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, no, that's a great strategy, because my kids get up early and they watch YouTube. It used to be when I was a kid, we watched Saturday morning cartoons. But
I remember cartoons.
Check this out.
18 months. That's a great age.
Oh,
yeah, that's the meme I helped. I said that to Frank. I was in the middle of doing a bunch of stuff.
When he said that, I'm like, yeah, this reminds me of me.
The Andy meme. That is so funny.
Yeah. I think I tagged you in that. I don't remember. But
18 months, John, you got to drink that up. In about 2 weeks, they're going to be like 16 or something. That's what it's going to feel like.
It is crazy how quick it goes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So my Instagram, I actually changed my Instagram handle to to match my Twitter handle, Frank Diggs Data. Although there's not really a lot of data stuff there. There's archery and dogs, as you can tell.
Oh, cool.
This is funny. I was at Sam's Club and I saw this.
Like, oh, nice
color. Like, it reminds me of The Princess Bride. They keep using that word. I don't think it means what they think it means.
Right.
But I mean, but that's a sign of progress. Like that quantum is now going to be the next buzzword. Oh, we got a spam comment. Cool.
Yeah, that's so cool. You can ban those people, and you can go to, if you have to go over to Twitch to do it.
Oh, okay.
And you know what? If you make me an admin, I can ban them as well.
Oh, cool.
Yeah,
I've done that. Honestly, Andy, I'm kind of honored that we're important enough to be spammed.
Well, right now, yeah, right now it's kind of cool. Yeah. That's true. We've crossed some threshold. My 13-year-old, my Master Chief 13-year-old, he's an admin on my Twitch, and he loves going and just knocking them off. And
nice.
It's kind of fun.
Nice. I'm trying to find anything else that's interesting here. That would be of interest to the audience. Oh yeah. So starting this season, we started putting fancy graphics. So this is from my Amazon Echo device that has the screen.
Nice.
So it's cool. And if you watch it in the car, it comes up. I got the idea actually from Ed Milet because I'm like, how does he get these pictures? And then I dug around the podcast website's documentation, and it's really easy to do.
Boom.
And this
when Frank says we, he means him.
Yeah.
He does all the graphic stuff.
So this was cool. This is from a video I highlighted on an earlier live stream.
Mm-hmm.
It's basically, you can do a search on YouTube or Frank's World and just do a search for quantum computing for computer scientists. And he basically, the guy walks you through how to build out like state machines.
Nice.
But instead of traditional bits, like using quantum logic. And like this part here, he's like, oh, if you get this, the rest is easy. I got this. The rest was not easy. Just FYI. But
false advertising.
Well, that could be my brain does work differently. You know, like we were talking about Don Quixote, and like the name of the author came to me like that, but I could not think of it for the life of me.
The
book, but
yeah,
you know, it's like it's just how my brain works.
It's all good. I love the way your brain works, Frank.
Very few people would say that publicly, but thank you. So yeah, there's a lot of good stuff going on with quantum this week. Azure Quantum, IBM's making some announcements you covered on. I still have to put your video from today. Although
it's fine.
I did this though, where I have an automatic word. I use an application called well, it's not going to share the screen, but I use Open Live Writer to write the blog posts.
Mm-hmm.
And I've written a couple of plugins for it to help tie into my automation systems.
Very cool.
So one of the things you can do is like every time that phrase is there, it'll automatically link to you.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, I don't like the built-in WordPress editor. Don't hate me. It's just having something that's a little more full-featured and kind of like a bit like Microsoft Word.
Well, I loved LiveWriter when they came out with it, and I was so happy to see them open source it.
Oh, yeah, me too.
Yeah, that was a good move.
So with that, I'm going to have to drop off because I do have a call at 12:30.
Awesome.
Want to thank everyone for joining, and I'll say goodbye. Have a great weekend, and I'll put on some fancy graphics to end the show.
Very cool.